The film Blood Quantum gave a very different and politically focused take on the common zombie apocalypse movie genre. Unlike typical zombie movies which solely focus on survival within a post-apocalyptic world, Blood Quantum uses the zombie apocalypse as a symbol for colonialism, indigenous survival and life, and the idea of these indigenous lands being exploited for various resources and land. The indigenous people within the film soon realize that they are immune to this rapidly spreading zombie sickness. However, the non-indigenous people who have previously oppressed the natives are not immune to this illness. This causes the reservations to become some sort of a safe haven for the people who have not been infected. This causes a lot of tension about whether or not they should allow outsiders into their reservation, which is very ironic since they were forced into these reservations before the apocalypse, and after its start, these roles have completely reversed. I think that a few of the key terms that are present within this film are colonialism and indigenous survival, the ideas of land and sovereignty, and the exploitation of indigenous people's natural resources. The idea of indigenous people being immune to the zombie plague serves as a very powerful symbol, in my opinion. Historically, indigenous tribes and people have been consistently devastated by different diseases and illnesses brought by the European colonizers, who were in fact immune to these diseases. The reversal of these two roles within this film challenges the colonial story and also allows for indigenous people to reclaim a sense of strength within the world and society. In regards to the ideas of land and sovereignty, the Red Crow Reservation becomes a sanctuary or safe haven within this film, and this directly highlights the struggle that indigenous people have in regards to sovereignty. The question of whether to help the outsiders or keep them out of the reservation mirrors the real-life problems that occur over land rights and the exploitation of the resources that these indigenous tribes hold. Another thing that this reflects is how colonialism has forced many indigenous people to balance their cultural values with the historical lies that they have faced. Throughout history, settlers and colonizers have taken an extreme amount of resources and wealth from indigenous lands without any regard to how it affects the well-being of these people. In Blood Quantum, non-indigenous people want to get into their reservations in order to find safety, and this implies a sense of irony because in the past, colonial powers have taken what they need from the indigenous people and communities without offering any kind of mutual benefit or refund. They just force them into these tribes or into these reservations and kind of give them that so long saying, And then lastly, overall, Blood Quantum did a very good job at challenging common stereotypes about indigenous people by giving them such a significant role within the film as a whole. It also invites the audience to reconsider historical stereotypes and recognize the resilience and consistency of indigenous people. The way that this historical trauma has been flipped within this movie, the directors force whoever watching to think about the past problems and get a better understanding of the truths behind the indigenous people's lives.